Welcome back.
Welcome back to Sick.
See you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday.
And what day is it, Van?
Today's Tuesday.
That's crazy. It's also Tuesday for me.
It's actually not Tuesday. We are filming this in advance because...
That's very true. I didn't know that we were allowed to tell our viewers the truth, or our listeners.
I know. We're actually not recording this live as you're listening to it.
We don't do this every Tuesday at midnight.
Yeah, unfortunately. Shocker. One of these days, maybe.
Maybe a little live pod.
That'd be fun.
That would be fun. Jeff
when
Winnick just did that.
We do it when we're together.
That would be so hard over FaceTime.
Yeah, over FaceTime. I don't think we could do it.
I don't think it's on the cards for us.
But no, we had to film this a little bit in advance because time just slips away and
time
people are
slips
busy.
away. People lead busy lives, you know?
They do.
Sometimes we just have to take advantage of synchronicity in our schedules.
Amen.
Amen.
But today is the most appropriate topic I think we've ever discussed.
100%. This is basically just an apology podcast.
Yes, this is 100% an apology podcast.
Yes.
And it's coming from the bottom of our hearts, genuinely.
Absolutely. We have a big apology to make to someone in particular.
Someone that you have heard on this podcast, name's been dropped, I think, every single episode.
Every single episode, as well as one of their most recent notable works.
So you would think that we loved them for how much we talk about them.
And we do. We've come to the conclusion. But we've been slandering their name.
We have, and we're here to apologize.
We're here to apologize. This is going directly to one of our listeners. Sydney Sweeney.
Sydney Sweeney, we're so sorry.
Sydney, Australia, Sydney Sweeney. We apologize deeply and profoundly.
We do.
For everything that we've said.
We love you.
We love you.
We think you're so funny.
We think you're hilarious. We also think you're an icon. We saw that you went against a dietitian and personal trainer who professed to have your diet plan and said, I don't know you. And we applaud you for that.
Yeah, and ever since that moment in time, we have done a full 180.
100%.
And we might be your biggest fans.
We actually are the two biggest fans of the Sydney Sweeney fan club. I love you. I'd love to meet you. Come on the pod.
Yes, please come on the pod. We know you're listening.
We know you're listening. We know you're out there. And we know every episode you've been cursing us. But this episode's for you, baby girl.
So the next episode after this will be Sydney Sweeney on the pod.
On the pod. Roasting us.
I would love that.
I want Sydney Sweeney to watch IKEA Heights and just like roast it.
Yes,
she deserves to.
I want to see what her Letterboxd review of IKEA Heights is.
Yeah, drag me.
But so in preparation of this episode, we did watch a little bit of Sydney Sweeney.
We did.
But we've watched Sydney Sweeney. We've seen her in the past. We know who she is. We know
her. We're very familiar with her. We weren't familiar with the real her until about 4 days ago when we totally changed our tune.
Mm-hmm.
But we've been following her career.
We have been following her career. And also, speaking of like how we saw her and perceived her, I feel like we were really... influenced by the public on like Twitter and TikTok on what they're saying about her is.
I agree. I'm going to come out as one of the sheeple. I was just following the herd.
I hate to admit that I was a sheeple too, but I was.
I jumped on the train and I regret it.
But don't worry, we jumped off.
We jumped onto the tracks. We said run us over.
We are like Ladybird in the car.
We completely stopped, drop, and rolled out of that train. And now we're Sydney Sweeney diehards.
So if you don't know who Sydney Sweeney is, you haven't listened to a single episode of the podcast.
Fake fan of See You Next Tuesday.
But Sydney Bernice Sweeney.
Her middle name's Bernice? That's crazy.
But we love that.
But I'm obsessed with it, and I'm going to change my name to Bernice. See You Next Tuesday, hosted by Ben and Bernice.
Sydney Bernice Sweeney. She was born on September 2nd, 1997.
That's
or 12th. I can't read.
Strong day. September 12th?
Yeah.
Okay, so she's a Virgo?
She's the one before Libra. Yeah, so she'd be a Virgo.
So is Leah Michelle. She's in good company.
She was born a day after 9/11.
She's born a day after Emily Tajowski.
That as well. I was going to say that, but I was like...
That's probably too niche.
Yeah. Emily, if you're listening,
shout out. If you're not, what's wrong with you?
But she's from Washington, but she grew up in Idaho. She's been around for so long.
She really... Didn't you say she's got like an insane amount of credits?
Yeah. She has, I think, 50 credits to her name, acting credits.
That's insane.
She first... Do you want to take a guess as to what year she first had like a professional credit to her name?
What year was she born again? One more time.
1997.
Oh, so wait. You guys are pretty close in age.
Yeah. We're only a month apart.
That's wild because I think of her as so much older than me. Which
I know, so
I
much
guess
wiser.
she is because you guys are ancient. But, okay, so 1997, like a 2012.
2009.
Really? I was deliberately dipping low, so that's crazy.
It's 3 years before you even guessed.
Whoa, 2009? I was in year 5. Doing nothing. Filming Glee episodes with my friends.
Yeah. So you were both professionally acting.
That's so true. We both had our first credit in 2009. We have so much in common, Sydney.
But no, she's been around forever. But truly, I don't think she was a household name until Euphoria.
100%. What was
so it took her 10 years.
She has been climbing up the ranks. She's been putting in the hard yards.
She has.
What is the first thing that you saw Sydney Sweeney in but like didn't realize it was Sydney Sweeney? And then what was the first thing you saw her in and did realize?
Okay, so the first thing that I probably saw her in and didn't know who she was, because I'm even thinking, I mean, apparently I saw her in Heroes.
The TV show with Hayden Panettiere?
That was her first credit.
Whoa. I didn't know you were a little Heroes boy.
Don't remember her in it. I was a Heroes boy. Loved Heroes.
So was my cousin Peter.
Piter?
Yeah, his girlfriend broke up with him because he had a figurine of Hayden Panettiere and she was jealous.
I want a figurine of Hayden Panettiere.
I'll get you one.
But on top of that, there's the 2011 movie Bling Ring, which...
Oh, the like Lifetime TV movie.
With
And
Austin
you watched
Butler.
that, correct?
Huh?
You watched that, correct?
Yes. Don't remember her in it.
I wish I could say the same. Is she a lead?
I think she is, yeah.
That's crazy. I need to watch that.
And then after that, I've watched almost like all of The Middle. She was in that. I don't remember her in that. She's in one episode.
Damn it.
And I watched Under the Silver Lake in 2018.
Yes.
And I don't remember her in that.
Interesting. Were these like small roles?
Definitely. The Bling Ring, I think she was a lead in that, but everything else was like one episode or 2 episodes.
Gotcha.
And so, yeah. And then to follow up your question, same year as Under the Silver Lake is when I learned who she actually was because of Sharp Objects.
Gotcha. What year was that? 2018?
That was 2018.
Okay. What a journey we've been on with her our entire lives and didn't even know it.
She's been around.
I just got up her filmography. The first thing that I would have seen her in, I think, and didn't realize, would have been Pretty Little Liars.
I did see that she is in one episode of Pretty Little Liars. She is in one episode
as Willa, in the episode Till Death Do Us Part.
In 2017,
I've seen every single episode of that show too many times, one would argue. Don't remember her. And then I also watched all of Everything Sucks and definitely remember her in it and remember her character. But then when I watched Euphoria, did not recognize her remotely.
Didn't clock that they were the same person.
Not at all. Completely different women in my mind because one was a lesbian and I said, lesbians can't be in Euphoria.
Yeah.
Clearly.
But also, I was completely unaware that she was a recurring character in The Handmaid's Tale.
I didn't know that either. I haven't seen The Handmaid's Tale.
I haven't either.
I've seen the posters. I've seen Alexis Bledel looking really worried.
Yeah.
My dad loves it.
So I think 2018 is probably when I learned her name and who she was.
Yeah, that's when we really started paying attention. And in season 1 of Euphoria, Cassie was one of my favorite characters.
Cassie was my favorite character in season 1, I think. She definitely took a turn in season 2.
Absolutely, she did.
But Sydney's so good in Euphoria.
She is really good in Euphoria.
Like, I'm wearing my Cassie shirt that I changed into to make Annabel feel upset.
Yeah.
I'm wearing my Oklahoma shirt.
And I have the exact shirt, ironically, in Sydney, but it's fine.
In Sydney Sweeney?
Inside her. I left it in there last time I was inside.
But no, I love Sydney in Euphoria.
I love Sydney in Euphoria.
We have said in the past that we're like, is it Sam Levinson that is making her? Because there's no way.
There's literally no way. I'm 100%. It's all Sydney. It's all inside of her.
No, we have learned that it's definitely
definitely Miss Sydney Sweeney.
And you know what I think it might be as well is that she had probably the most time to like get into this character, become this character.
Yeah.
Because even in season 2, she's great. She's great in season 2 too.
She absolutely is. Her character gets unhinged, but she's great at that.
She's great at it. So I think it's that she's had the most time to like become Cassie. So
did she get nominated for an Emmy for Euphoria?
That is a good question. She did get nominated as part of the ensemble in Handmaid's Tale.
There you go.
For Euphoria, however, she was nominated for a outstanding supporting actress in a drama series for Euphoria.
I mean, okay, yes, because I remember in 2021 or something, or 2022, our drama class would have like a little round table every week, and at the beginning of every class would talk about the most recent episode of Euphoria, and every single person was petitioning for her to be nominated for an Emmy.
She's great. She's one of the best in the show, I think.
Yeah, everyone was saying without Zendaya and without Sydney, the show would be trash. Quotes. How dare they slander Jacob, but whatever.
Yeah. Jacob Elordi's right there. But
yeah,
okay.
He's right there, and he's hard to miss. But I'm good for her.
On top of that, she has also been nominated for an Emmy for The White Lotus.
Wait, she was?
Yeah, supporting actress in a limited or anthology series.
Well, okay, if there's one man who loves her performance in White Lotus, it is Alistair McConaughey, my father.
It's not my favorite performance of hers. But also, as the character she's playing, I think she does a good job.
That's true. She's not supposed to be likable. In fact, she's supposed to be thoroughly unlikable.
Yeah, and I think she does a good job at that. And
she does.
Sometimes I'm just like, it doesn't feel like she's putting her all into the performance, but then I'm also like, she's such like a disconnected teenager that's the
thing. It does feel disconnected, I agree with that, but like she is like an angsty teen who doesn't want to be there.
Yeah, like I think she's doing
the work.
Yeah. So she also has been nominated for a Critics' Choice Award.
All right. What for?
For Reality.
That was a recent watch for both of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
She is also, that's I think her big awards.
She is really good in Reality.
The Hollywood Television Critics Association also nominated her for Euphoria and The White Lotus.
Okay, so she's stacking up these nominations.
She has only won 3 awards that she has been nominated for.
But still, she's been nominated for 2 Emmys?
And she's been nominated quite a lot, for a lot of things.
That's crazy. What has she won?
She won Best Fight at the MTV Awards.
Oh, for Euphoria?
Yes.
Earned. That's the best fight on television. Full stop.
She won in 2018 a Gold Derby Award for Best Ensemble for The Handmaid's Tale.
Love.
And
so she was really in The Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah, she's considered for the ensemble for this Screen Actors Guild Awards too.
That's wild.
And then she won a Sidewalk Film Festival Award for Special Shout Jury Mention for acting.
What does that mean? They just feel like a string of words together.
I don't know what a special shout is. Maybe that's what they call their awards.
And a jury it's just determined by a jury?
Well, I would assume the film festival has like a jury.
I thought you were going to say she was in like jury duty or something.
No.
I was very confused.
They like pick random people, they put them on a panel, they make them watch movies, and they make them give out awards.
Wait, why aren't we on it?
I would love that.
This is our job interview.
Yeah, please hire us.
We're right here.
But yeah, so she's got quite a lot of nominations to her name.
And that's flattering that the jury picked her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just I honestly like crazy to me how long she's been around.
It's insane. Yeah, I can't believe that she's been slogging along for this long, and she's valedictorian.
She was valedictorian.
And she's a mechanic.
She's a mechanic, and she's poor.
And she's poor. She's just like us, but with skills.
See, that's the thing. Okay, social media had so many things.
To say about her being poor.
A bit ago was the one where she said she has no money.
And I have to say, I read this article on the New York subway. And what happened while I was on the New York subway, I looked up and she was there in an ad for L'Oreal or Clinique or something, because she's in every ad I come across. So I'm like, how poor are you?
Let me just Google a little net worth.
Let's see, because that's also famously accurate.
Okay, yes. So, okay.
Okay, what are the Google saying?
As of 3 days ago, this article was posted about her net worth.
Whoa, so hot off the presses.
Topic, yeah.
But also, who knows what's happened in 72 hours?
Yeah. I'm getting a number of 10 million. Which, you know, she's so right.
How could she afford groceries?
So apparently for the first season of Euphoria, she made $350,000.
$350,000 for one. Okay.
For the season. And then for each episode of The White Lotus that she was in, she made $25,000.
Jesus.
Like,
is that a lot? To me,
I want to say for a show like The White Lotus, no.
I was going to say, okay. Also,
I'm going to look up like how much Connie Britton made in White Lotus.
I guess also like streaming services are crazy with the way that they pay people. Because it's just kind of like changed the game. I don't know what happened in the SAG strike. Hopefully they sorted that out. But I know that like famously Winona Ryder was really confused when she signed on for Stranger Things and Netflix was paying her minimum wage. So like I know wages are weird for that kind of thing. So maybe that's the point that she was making, that like she was on HBO and you'd think that she had like millions, but she wasn't earning that much. She was just kind of earning.
I understand where she's coming from. Like she might not be making as much per episode for like a show or something.
But it does feel out of touch for like a normal person.
Now, girly, that will pay my rent for 2 years.
Oh my God. Like
one episode.
That's why I was asking if it's a lot, because to me, like, that's astronomical. That's crazy.
A lot of money.
If I get a job where I'm earning $20 an hour, I'm like, oh, okay, rich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry if I even see 1,000.
Yeah. Also, like she's 26, so for the average 26-year-old is not making that.
No. And like your net worth, if that's correct, I'm sure it is in the millions.
That also definitely. So this article was a few years ago, and that was like pre and anyone but you, I guess. Just
that
to defend
article was
Sydney
3
Sweeney.
days ago.
No. So the net worth is including anyone but you. But the article where she was saying she was poor was like a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was a bit ago.
Yeah, so that was pre-earning that. And she was doing like a lot of HBO stuff, Apple TV for The Voyeurs. She was a big streaming girly. Netflix. Yeah.
Prime for The Voyeurs. But also on top of that, Anyone But You is still in theaters currently.
She's
as
raking
we
it
speak.
in. Yeah.
It has been making insane amount of money at the box office.
And
so
everyone's seen it.
I would be shocked if she's still not raking in a ton of money from Anyone But You.
Yeah. I remember one of the things in the article was like, you'd be surprised that I can't afford a home without a mortgage. And I'm like, who can? Like, she can't outright buy a house. I'm sure she could buy about 6 now.
Yeah. I'm sure she could. Okay, Anyone But You has made over 190 million since its release.
Yeah, and she also produced it.
Yeah, so for like a rom-com, that's quite a lot of money.
Especially like now.
Yeah.
Cinema's
Especially
back, baby.
since it's been in since December. Like it's been in for 2 months almost.
Yeah,
almost 3.
We saw it last year.
Yeah, and I saw it. Yeah,
Twice?
We saw it a whole year ago.
An entire year ago. Sydney.
But so like now she's definitely a household name. Everyone knows who she is, and I think it's like a mixture of people know who she is because of everybody who talks shit on her, and people know who she is because of her in Euphoria and White Lotus and all that.
I feel like everyone would have seen her in something. Like she's in enough that, and also, can we just say range? She's in a range of stuff that appeals to a lot of different people, so everyone's probably seen her in something.
Yeah, I agree. She has been in. I feel like in the beginning she started like a scream queen almost. As I've been like looking up her filmography, she's in quite a lot of horror stuff. And I'm excited
to delve into more of it.
Yes, but she's definitely like shown her range quite a lot.
I agree.
Since her start. We watched that. We literally yesterday. When did we watch this? 2 days ago. We watched The Voyeurs.
Yeah. Amazon Prime original, The Voyeurs.
Amazon Prime original, The Voyeurs with Justice Smith.
Starring Justice Smith, starring that
Ben
guy
Hardy.
with that other guy's name, not Tom Hardy. Yeah.
Ben Hardy.
Natasha, Australian.
Leon.
Natasha Leone. I wish. She would have slaughtered it in that role.
Should have killed.
She would have had an accent I understood.
Spoilers. Oh my God, I didn't mean to. But she plays one half of a couple that is a voyeur and spies on their neighbors. Things go awry.
Things go crazy. Lots of twists and turns in the third act.
Lots of twists and turns. Lots of nudity. With
Lots
the name,
of nudity.
The Voyeur, though, what
are you expecting? Wait. Oh my God. Whoa. This movie might be genius because it turns us
We're the
into
voyeurs.
voyeurs. Whoa. I need to change my rating to a 10 out of 10.
Honestly, like the movie was
fun.
It was trashy, but it was fun.
Yeah. At the very beginning, I was like, oh, maybe this could be like genuinely good.
Like an art house film. Yeah.
And then the crazy turns it takes. I said, okay, trash, but I'm in.
Yeah, no, it was fun. I had a good time.
I had a great time.
I don't even remember what I gave it on Letterboxd.
You gave it a 3 out of 5 star.
Yeah, okay, that's like my standard. Like I had a fine time. It was a good movie.
I gave it a 7 out of 10, so like a 3.5 out of 5.
7 out of 5.
I said it's just upped up by 2. But honestly, I think that's me trying to crawl back into Sydney Sweeney's good graces as well.
Yeah, that was.
I have a lot of ground to make up, so I'm for the time being gonna give every Sydney Sweeney movie more than it deserves because she deserves the world.
Something else that people have given her a lot of hate on in the past is that they do believe her to be a liar.
Wait, really?
So this is actually very, very recent. This is like last month, I think.
Yeah.
Everyone was talking about how she, in an interview, very briefly stated that she worked as a Universal tour guide.
Oh, really?
However, in following interviews, it was brought up again, like when she was on Hot Ones, and she sort of just like breezes by the question, doesn't really answer anything about it, and then just like turns the question on to the interviewee.
Interesting.
The interviewer. And so that was like a little like suspicious, I guess, in people's minds in the beginning. And then people on like TikTok were coming out and being like, I worked as a Universal tour guide and I have no recollection of her working there when I worked there, which I'm also like, you guys are just as likely to be liars as much as Sydney Sweeney is.
So true. Also, like, what? Like, I worked for a tour guide for a month and she wasn't there in the 30 days I was there. Okay.
And, well, they were like, based on like some of the things that she had said, I think people were like somebody, I think in Hot Ones, they asked her to like pull out a fact that was like the most interesting to you.
Okay.
From when you were a tour guide. And she like didn't answer.
Interesting.
The question basically. And somebody was like, I worked as a tour guide for Universal. Like there's so many things she could have said, like genuinely it's ingrained in your head. And then the other thing is she said that she worked as the tour guide to pay bills and like to help become an actor as well.
Help pay off that mortgage. Yeah.
When she was first starting out. And somebody was like, the process to be a tour guide is so rigorous, which I do believe. I
agree.
It probably
that
is.
would be.
And like the way she was talking was like, it was just some super easy like gig that she just like picked up as like a part-time job.
Interesting.
And I do believe that it probably is like really rigorous and hard. And I bet a lot of people are actually trying to get that job. I don't know. This might have been in like 2009. maybe it wasn't as like a difficult thing at that time. Who knows? And the other thing is, like, even if it is a rigorous like thing, who's to say she didn't do it? She was probably auditioning so much.
Yeah.
Like, this was probably just another audition, and then she got it as a part-time job. Who's to say?
True. Also, like, who knows? Like, if you know someone who is like related or like works at Universal or whatever, like, you can probably get a shoe in the door easily. Like, we don't know if she's a little Universal Nepo.
It's so true.
Yeah.
And on top of that, like, everybody who was like saying that she like, I worked at Universal, blah, blah, blah. I'm honestly more inclined to believe a celebrity in an interview about their personal experience than a stranger on the internet.
I 100% agree, because what's she going to get out of saying she was a Universal tour guide? Not that much, but people commenting on it are going to get like clout for talking.
Yeah, they're going to get attention.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the fact that everybody on TikTok and Twitter were like fully bandwagoning, believing all these strangers on the internet, this just goes to prove of why people get scammed on the internet. Because I'm like, why would I trust you?
Exactly. And that is why we were a part of the herd.
Yeah, because we jumped on those bandwagons, and honestly, as time went on, I was sort of like weaning off of that bandwagon, and then she pulled some major like cool shit and called out the dietitian, and we said, Sydney Sweeney, we love you.
I'm obsessed with you. I love you.
And she's hosting at SNL, isn't she?
She is hosting SNL next Saturday, March 2nd.
Which means this episode will already be out, so
it'll have been out. Like,
the
SNL episode will have been out for ages.
Our opinion on her performance at SNL.
Actually, yes, we can. Sydney, you slaughtered. Best performance I've ever seen on SNL.
You were amazing. You're so funny.
You're so good. You made Io look like trash.
Yeah. I know that you will literally become the best host SNL has ever seen.
And then you're going to be brought onto the full-time cast.
Amen.
And earn minimum wage again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I'm very excited. I'm going to watch that episode, I think.
100%. If I weren't going to the Broadway rave to stalk Ryan McCartan, then I would be lining up to try and be in the audience.
It's the day before the Oscars, isn't it? Or is it the week before the Oscars? It's the week before.
It's a red hot 8 days before the Oscars.
Okay.
So we've got time.
Well, maybe we can add a little excerpt at the end, maybe,
That's
about
so true. Yeah.
our feelings and opinions.
You're right.
But you brought something up that I wanted to look and delve into, and it was whether or not she was like a Universal Nepo baby.
Yes.
Because I'm curious, like, did she work for what she got?
Yeah.
So her mother, she's from Washington, as we said, and she grew up in Idaho. Obviously, there's not a booming entertainment industry in Idaho.
Literally all I know about Idaho are potatoes. Only thing.
That's because there's literally nothing else to know about Idaho.
Okay.
But who's to say that like her family didn't know somebody? I don't know.
Yeah.
Her parents' names are Lisa and Stephen Sydney Sweeney. Not Sydney.
They've taken on her name as their last name.
But yeah, Lisa and Stephen Sweeney. Lisa's maiden name is Mudd.
Really? Can you imagine Sydney Mudd?
I feel like I would have loved her from the beginning if her
100%.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have dragged her through it had it been her name.
She has one brother, but it doesn't say.
I think she's mentioned a brother in an interview.
It doesn't say like what he does.
She gives girl with brother.
So she does. She does not give like only child, or she doesn't give like a sister family.
You say that like there's something wrong with that.
You're projecting, because I literally said sister family after that.
All I had was I hate only children.
Yeah, because you are oppressed.
I thought you were going to say a prat.
A brat, maybe.
I was like, okay, England.
But no, so her mother is a former criminal defense lawyer.
Oh.
So there is a high chance that they made zero money off of that.
Yeah.
Like if she was like a public defender, then she wouldn't make very much money. So
yeah, that's, well.
If she was like a private defense lawyer, she probably made a lot of money, but it could go either way. So I don't know. It doesn't say. I could look her up in the public records.
I think you should.
Her father is a hospitality professional.
What does that mean? That could be anything from
So
waiter.
he works in the hospitality business.
Okay. Cool. Is he a bartender?
Like, yeah, like he could work at a hotel, I guess.
I guess. But he could also like run a restaurant.
A tour guide.
Oh my god. Wait.
Did he work at Universal?
And he said...
Wait, like, well, they lived in Idaho, so he probably didn't work at Universal, but...
That's true. But maybe he moved. Who knows?
That's actually so crazy.
That is crazy.
So Sydney Sweeney, even though she started in 2009 when she was 12...
That's wild.
She went to school in Washington.
Okay.
She said that she played every sport possible that she could.
I did read that.
She's on the soccer team, the baseball team, the snow ski team. She was a wakeboarder.
What?
She really did it all.
Yeah, she also has like a belt in something, right? Like a taekwondo or a...
I'm not sure. I won't lie, it does not say that here.
She has the longest personal life Wikipedia I think I've ever seen because she's just given out so many
Yeah, it's everything she said in interviews.
nuggets
before.
in interviews.
Apparently, when she was a child, she now has a permanent scar next to her eye from a wakeboarding accident.
Oh my god, is that on a Wikipedia page?
It is. The board propelled backwards and it sliced the area next to her eye. I want to... Oh my god, I keep hitting the microphone. I want to Google a photo.
Sydney
Does she
Sweeney
have
scar.
one?
I've never noticed it.
Sydney Sweeney scar? Show me a pic. It should be visible, no?
You'd think.
I mean, I guess makeup can cover it, but...
Yeah.
I've never seen a scar on her face. And I feel
Neither
like
have
we've
I.
seen her up close pretty...
We've seen her pretty up close and personal. I feel like I've seen every crevice of that woman's body.
We kind of have.
Yeah. I actually just read something about her.
That's actually on her Wikipedia page that she said...
Something about the male gaze.
Yeah. And how her many nude scenes have received significant attention, generating discussions about nudity in film and the male gaze. And despite this, she stated that she will not stop doing nude scenes.
Let her be naked if she wants to be naked.
Honestly, it's her body. Like this
Keep it off, baby.
This conversation that they're bringing up is the problem, actually.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, literally let her be naked. What's the problem?
Her body, her choice.
Yeah,
she can do
also,
whatever she wants.
if I had that body, I'd never wear clothes. So, good for her.
So she was also on the robotics team and in a mathematics club in high school. She studied multiple languages, those of which are not mentioned, and was a valedictorian
I did know that.
of her class.
I can't believe she was on the robotics team.
No, literally.
I was in a robotics club actually in primary school for like 2 lessons because they made us.
I think we had it in my high school, which is shocking because we didn't really have anything. Mm-hmm. I was not a part of it. Actually, no, we had like woodworking.
Oh.
We might have had robotics. I don't know. I wasn't part of it. There was like a whole wing that I just never knew about in school.
Whoa. We didn't have it in high school. We only had it when I was like 8.
Oh, I think we had it in high school. I don't remember though. Let me go through my, we probably had like a robotics club, but not like a class.
Damn. I guess only Sydney and I have that in common.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
So she became an actress after being an extra in an independent film in Washington.
Okay.
And so to convince her parents, she presented them with a 5-year business plan. And she began doing commercials in Seattle.
Okay.
And then when she was 14, they decided to relocate
to LA.
To LA. Oh, and here we go. In 2016,
her dad got a job at Universal.
Briefly worked leading tours in Universal Studios lot, quitting just a month after being hired after being booked for an acting job.
Okay.
See, my thing is she's an actress. She's in 2016 she would have been 19 years old.
Yeah.
So
she's been working for 7 years.
She was there since she was 14. So she was in Los Angeles for 5 years. Which means she had been auditioning probably for about 5 years.
Yeah.
Universal Studios was probably
just like another audition. Yeah.
Like I believe her.
Yeah, absolutely. it would be like a really rigorous thing to do if you weren't auditioning all the time. I get that. But if it was just like one thing on the books of the things that you had to do in your day, I get that. Yeah.
And like she said, she quit a month after being booked for a job. I can see how she would probably do it as a part-time job because it probably is rigorous and probably can't do that while you're acting.
Yeah. Also, if someone said name a fun fact about something you did for a month in 2016, I'm out. Like, I don't know.
Oh my God. That would have been the year I graduated high school.
Me too.
So
couldn't tell you.
I got my wisdom teeth taken out.
Whoa, that's fun. I graduated high school.
That's another one. Yeah.
That's it. That's the highlight.
She probably would have graduated a year before us.
Yeah, right.
September can go either way, so I don't really know.
That's true. Should we ask next episode when she's on?
Yes. Well, that'll be one of our interview questions. Don't worry, Sydney.
Tell us all about Universal. When did you graduate high school?
All about your high school graduation.
How's your mortgage?
But no. So something else that I see she was in, and I cannot lie, I don't remember her at all.
What?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Okay, I definitely do remember her in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but she she was just one of the Manson girls.
The cult girlies.
She looks like one of the cult girlies. Like
she does.
Yeah, little.
She would be in
60s
Manson's
blondie.
like, little group.
Absolutely, she would. Which is a compliment because they're all pretty hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am gonna Google a picture of her because I literally cannot, for the life of me, remember what she looks like.
I swear she was just like one of the girlies who came to the car to see Brad Pitt.
Okay, that's what in my head she was.
Yeah.
But
I remember seeing her in the movie and being like, "Oh, there's Sydney."
This photo is her in a window in a building.
Yeah.
Oh God, that movie. I feel like I didn't love it, so I didn't like pay super close attention.
It also was a long one.
Yes, it was a long one.
And it was like a slow burn long one until
and
like
everybody
the last,
and their mother's in it. So
many people. Lena Dunham's in it.
Dakota Fanning's in it.
Yeah. And all of the above Manson girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so that leads us to her currently, which is Euphoria.
Euphoria era.
And from then she has done so much after too. I think she's one
really
of the
just got
most
the ball
successful
rolling.
from Euphoria.
For sure. You've got Zendaya, Jacob Elordi, and Alexa Demie, all stars.
The most
tackling Hollywood.
sought after Hollywood actors.
But no, she went nuts. She's done a lot.
Yeah, she was after that, she was in, The Voyeurs.
Yeah, she was.
And we watched Reality.
Yes, I watched it this morning.
Which is based off of a true story of an NSA worker who had taken confidential information.
Yes.
And the entire script is written from the transcript of the recording from when she was being interrogated.
It's also, it was a play first, which makes so much sense to me.
Was it?
Yes, I was looking
it
up.
gives play.
Because when you were telling me that before I watched it, I was like, this sounds like some like documentary theater NYU project. And then it kind of was. And then they made it into a movie.
Yeah. And the woman who wrote the play wrote the movie as well.
Yes.
And directed it.
Okay. Women in Hollywood? Go off. That's...
it's super interesting.
It is.
Alone. Like without the actors and stuff.
Without the Sydney Sweeney of it all.
It's very interesting, and it makes you want to do like a real big deep dive into
for sure
the character. Reality Winner is her name.
That's insane. When I was so I saw that her character name was Reality Winner, and I thought it was some kind of like Brechtian meta, like she's the winner of a reality show. No.
Born and raised, baby.
That's insane.
Her parents hated her.
No, arrest them.
Yeah. But she was arrested.
I was gonna say arrest them. Let her out because she's a victim of circumstance.
But yeah. So it's super, super interesting movie. And Sydney Sweeney is
it's a little shorty, but it's intense.
In it,
she is really good, and that's like again, like it's a movie that feels like it's an acting exercise.
I feel like this is something that in acting school they would pull as a script for you to do with 2 other people during
Absolutely
a scene.
Yeah, I feel like this was just like training that we got to watch.
She was great in it. It also has Josh Hamilton in it. He made me cringe, but he was great as well. And the thing about it is, honestly, the actors do have a lot to work with, considering it's literally coming from a recording. Like,
yeah,
they can
that's very true.
But I feel like, that could go really badly.
That's very true, because then like everyone can compare you to the original.
Yeah. And I think that it felt so authentic from everybody that they did a really good job at interpreting the recording.
I agree. She was also like dressed down, Yeah.
So and it's a super low-key movie. There's only there's a few other people, but it's 3 characters in one location
it's
the whole
intimate.
time.
What was the budget on that?
It had to be very,
it did not
very
feel big.
Little.
She probably didn't earn that much from that either.
Well, the box office was only 1.4 million.
HBO, right? So yeah,
it was HBO.
That makes sense.
Budget-wise, couldn't tell you.
She's obsessed with HBO.
No, she is. Euphoria,
White Lotus, reality.
Yeah. But then that comes to us in her career are what we know her so well from and talk about her in so much.
So often.
Anyone But You.
Anyone But You. Which, again, I'd like to take back everything I said. She's perfect.
She was so good in it.
Best performance of her career.
Well, this movie is the one that had so much hype beforehand because of
Very
the
true.
cheating allegations.
Yes. Which
clearly...
True.
Well, she's engaged.
She's engaged. So if they did cheat, her partner's fine with it.
Yeah, but
let's stay out of their
Powell
business.
did break up with his girlfriend, didn't he?
That is true.
But they do have chemistry, but I think it's Glenn Powell's work.
I agree.
Because I think he's so charismatic that he can have chemistry with anyone.
Yeah.
But she kills in it. I mean, I saw it twice in theaters for a reason.
That's just, and that reason was Sydney Sweeney.
Although on Twitter, everyone is loving this movie.
Okay, love that.
Loving it.
Great. I feel like people are taking a turn back. I mean, we definitely are, but back in favor of Sydney Sweeney.
I agree. It's the internet where everything is just back and forth. Insane.
So maybe we're still sheeple because everyone's taking a turn and we said, so are we. Love you, Sydney.
No, because of the Universal thing is pretty recent. So people are still, it's divided, I think.
Gotcha.
But that
I think they're jealous because she's hot
too.
Madam Web.
Which was, we have a whole episode about if you haven't listened.
Check it out. Stream now.
She's the second best of the girls there. So that's...
And we'll leave it at that.
That's all we have to say. Watch the episode.
Yeah.
And we've seen her in White Lotus. We've talked about it.
I've seen her in Everything Sucks. And honestly, I liked her character. Her character was like a little theater lesbian who brings the main character.
It'd be homophobic if you didn't.
You're so right. No, love the gays. Obsessed with the gays. Good for Sydney Sweeney for being a gay.
Ally.
Ally. That's all I'm gonna say on that.
And I remember her in Sharp Objects.
I don't.
She's good.
Great.
She's really good. She's good enough that I Googled who she was afterwards.
Okay, that's
so
really good. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think in a hit or miss rate, I feel like she's got more hits than misses.
She actually does have more hits than misses, which is not I feel bad for being such a Sydney Sweeney hater, not only because I found out that she's kind of an icon, but you know what? I think we genuinely were wrong. She does have more misses than hits.
And I don't think I actually realized that. She's got more hits than misses, yeah. I don't think I realized that until we looked at her filmography.
Exactly. You need to look at all of the evidence laid out before you make a judgment.
Amen. She's great. And even her misses, one, I don't know if they're her fault.
Very true. A lot goes on behind the scenes. We weren't there. A lot goes into making a movie.
Exactly. And I mean, okay, what would you say is like her biggest miss that you've seen?
That's such a good question. I don't want to say anyone but you. I feel like that was the one when I went to see it where I was like, oh wait, she's kind of bad.
See, I don't think that ever crossed my mind truly when I was watching it. I think in terms of her performance where I was like, oof.
White Lotus?
Madam Web.
Really? So it was that recent?
I think that's when I really was like, ugh. But again, I don't think that one was her fault.
Yeah. I don't know. I really think it was Anyone But You for me.
I feel like because of the type of movie it was, that didn't cross my mind. I don't expect anything above like D grade acting.
That's true. I think maybe compared to Glenn, I was just like, ugh. But
yeah, because Glenn, he's phenomenal. I love Glenn Powell.
Yeah. Honestly, in Madam Web, she had a couple of funny lines.
She did.
Yeah.
And I think that almost everybody's performance was pretty mid in that movie. So.
True. Exactly. So I'm not going to blame her.
Exactly. I don't think that's her fault. No. And then, yeah, White Lotus would be another miss, but a part of me is like, was it the intention, the way she played it? Like, was that intentional? What I disliked about it was intentional.
Yeah, exactly. We just didn't like a character.
That might be. And honestly, that leads us to like 10 other hits that she's had.
Exactly.
So everybody out there who has a distaste for Sydney Sweeney, look for the deeper meaning. Like, why do you...
What inside you is making you hate Sydney Sweeney?
I'd love to know.
Are you jealous
Leave
of her
a
career?
comment below. Are you jealous of how beautiful she is, of how successful she is, of how poor she is?
Let us know. What are your insecurities? Are you too rich to like her?
Comment your insecurities below.
Let us know.
We'll comment back with what you need to do to fix.
We'll comment back validating your insecurities. We're like, so true.
No, I think that people's dislike for Sydney Sweeney now is, as a Sydney Sweeney lover.
Yeah, as a Sydney Sweeney lover of the past 4 days. It's got to be jealousy. It's got to be jealousy because that's, you know what? That's what it was. I'm going to say
we were jealous of her.
We were jealous.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot to be jealous of.
Her success as a 26-year-old because she's almost like she's basically our age, and I hate seeing people our age successful.
I agree with that. It's even worse if they're younger.
Yeah.
So it's fine. You've got a month to catch up.
She's always 1 month ahead.
1 month ahead.
So next month I need to be in like the biggest rom-com, like Nikki.
Not an episode you missed, baby girl.
She's just so attracted to the camera.
She's in love with Sydney Sweeney.
And Sydney Sweeney.
And she needed to make a comment. But yeah, I think I see you next month in Anyone But You.
Next month I need to be in the biggest rom-com ever made, one of the biggest flops ever made, and also one of the biggest TV shows ever made.
And have a 10 million net worth but struggle to pay rent.
That's going to happen in a month.
We'll
do an episode about me next month.
Done. And then in 11 months, I'm up.
So hold tight.
Stay tuned.
But no, I think this is an apology episode, and we're going to say it one last time. We are sorry, Sydney Sweeney.
Sydney Sweeney, I'm so sorry, and I'm obsessed with you. I love you. She also seems so fun.
I know, she's so funny too. Like she genuinely, I feel like she doesn't take things too seriously.
Not at all.
Which I
love.
Not
that deep. Yeah.
Which is why I'm very excited for the SNL episode.
Me too. I also love her dog.
Oh my God. I won't lie. I just recently followed her on Instagram.
I've been following her since Euphoria, and I remember seeing like her and Lucas Gage in Hawaii, and I was like, what the hell are they doing filming White Lotus?
White Lotus.
I was like, why did they get to go to Hawaii during COVID?
Yeah.
White Lotus.
Oh yeah, that was.
Yeah.
But no. So next week, as we manifest an interview with Sydney Sweeney,
yes.
We have so many hard-hitting questions for you as converted Sydney Sweeney lovers.
Absolutely. So the questions are coming from a place of love and adoration.
So please, if anybody listening knows Sydney Sweeney,
hook us up. Lucas Gage, if you're listening.
We need our first guest on the podcast to be
Sydney Sweeney. And we will not have a guest until we get her. So
please.
Yeah. Hook us up.
Or Jacob Elordi, one of the two converted Euphoria stars.
Well, yeah, one of the stars we've done a 180 on. Please, come on the pod. I think I have an in with Jacob. My little toxic trait is thinking that I know everyone in Australia.
That's true. Honestly, you just have to say you're Australian in America, and they're going to be like, oh my God.
Oh my God. That's what happened with Phoebe Tonkin. She was like...
That's what happened with the guy from Sweeney Todd.
That's Star Sweeney Todd. That's very true. So if I run into Jacob here, he's on the pod.
No, literally. And I'm going to send this to Sydney's agent.
I was going to... Wait, you're so right. Wait, do you think my bias will work because I'm from Sydney?
You're just like, we're both Sydney.
Where's Sydney? Sydney?
I'm from
Sydney.
you.
I'm from you. I'm your child.
We are going to work our butts off.
Absolutely. We're going to network our way to Miss Sweeney. Miss
And actually, there won't be another episode after this one.
Until she's on... We're going on strike. You thought the SAG strike was bad? Try the 60 next Tuesday strike. Get on, Sydney.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, I feel like I've said my piece with Sydney.
Me too. I think we've properly made amends.
I agree.
I'm feeling good about dispelling the slander. What I'm really sad about is that I do have to, like, editing the next couple of episodes for us is it's gonna be rough because I don't agree with who those people are. I don't know who they are. Those strangers talking smack about Sydney.
No, they are just a distant memory to me.
I don't know. I don't want to meet them.
I don't either.
Disgusting. Naive haters. Naive, insecure haters.
We were naive. Young and naive.
But I think we've done our piece.
Yeah, with that, I think... Do you want to lead us off?
I'm going to send us away. Okay.
Send us.
Sick.
See you next
Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye.